The Sustainable Development Goals were agreed by the world's governments in September 2015. They arose as the next phase of global efforts to address sustainable development, which were initially being addressed by the Millennium Development Goals in the period from 2000 to 2015. In the period between 2012 and 2015, the world's governments came together to develop a set of goals that would address questions around people, planet and prosperity for all of the citizens of the earth. Over a 2-year period, the development communities and the environmental communities converged on developing a set of 17 goals to 2030, which are called the Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 SDGs are framed within a broader global ambition called Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Central to the 2030 Agenda is the ambition to reduce poverty, and in particular extreme poverty, in all locations on Earth by 2030. And also central in that ambition is to achieve a universal peace. Another principle that cuts across all of the 17 SDGs and is critical to the reduction of poverty is the ambition of leaving no one behind, and in particular reaching the furthest behind first. This is critical to reducing poverty and ensuring world peace. When we consider the implementation of the SDGs in the period to 2030, there are 3 principles that all those who are implementing the SDGs have to take into account. The first is universality, the second is integration or indivisibility, and the third is transformation. So what do we mean by universality? Unlike the Millennium Development Goals, the SDGs apply to all organizations, governments and entities on planet Earth, where there is the request to all of these actors to work together to realize the SDGs. If we look then at the next principle, which is in relation to indivisibility or integration, it really points to the need for not to pursue any one of the SDGs in isolation from the others, because they are all interconnected. You may pursue one SDG and find that there are negative or positive impacts on other SDGs, so they have to be considered as a whole, not as individual atomized SDGs. The final principle is called transformation, and really this speaks to the urgency of the crises that we face today. The SDGs themselves are in danger of not being met because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Also conflicts which are driving back food security and driving more people into hunger. There's a greater number of conflicts on the planet today than there has been previously. So transformation speaks to calling for bold actions by governments which accelerate action towards achieving the targets of the SDGs by 2030. And when we look at the SDGs, we really should look deeper than just the SDGs themselves. We need to look specifically at the targets associated with every SDG. For every one of those targets, there are broad coalitions, both global and national and local, that are working to achieve those targets. And if we want to have impact from university activities, or whether it's research or education, then we need to connect to those implementation groups to achieve those impacts. So in essence, the SDGs are one of the most exciting political movements on Earth today. And for people, planet and prosperity, they really provide the basis for us all to work together towards a better future.